awesome. The weather is bananas out here in sunny ATL. I was just thinking about how I spent so many years running around New York to get here. Really senseless running, just passion driven, focused, wouldn't take no shorts. I wasn't interested in anybody that was standing in my way. I just knew that my destiny was ahead of me and my purpose was being followed every day. So every step that I took, didn't matter what, every small step, large step, mediocre step, it was all to get here to the promised land. I'm here on many acres of land in Georgia, once a plantation, but converted into many large and small properties that many of our folk now live in. And I don't know if you could feel the peace, or you could hear the peace, but it's very telling. It's a different world from whence I came. I remember the frustrations, the misery, and I remember the struggle and the climb in the subsequent years to bring my brand to the world. I'm gonna drop a jewel now, so that some of you who may not understand the grind can get a glimpse of it right now. This is something that you could use right now. Picture a clock, and I teach this to the people that work with me. If you think of your grind, your marketing, your branding, your promotion as a clock, the clock should be in zones. Your 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock would be your cold zone. Your 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock would be your warm zone. And your 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock would be your hot zone. Now, when you meet a person and you're introducing them to yourself, you're not really interested in selling a product to them, okay? Yeah, you have a product and service. Yeah, you have a message. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But you know what? It all sounds like this right now, because this day and age, there's just so much marketing being thrown at us, so many images, so much information, so many products. People are tired of it. Maybe 20 years ago, it was like, oh my goodness, you got a book, or oh my goodness, you got a CD or a DVD. Dead that. Today's not the day for that at all. You need to focus on creating a relationship, because at the end of the day, if you are interested in a quick dollar from that customer, then that's not a valued experience. You're really not looking forward to meeting or seeing that customer again. You could care less if they give you money or not. You could care less if your product fails them. You just want to get it in their hands. But guess what? The customer's savvy today. They don't care about that. They don't want your product. They want valued relationships. And your product should convey that when it comes time. So your cold zone is when you meet a customer for the first time. Now, you might meet the customer directly or indirectly. The indirect would be a promotion. They pick up a bookmark from, we're speaking about books, they pick up a bookmark from somebody somewhere, or they see your promotion in a magazine, or they see it on a bulletin board, or they see the book. They see somebody else with the book. That's the cold zone. They're in the cold zone. What you want to do is you want to try to move them to the warm zone. So the warm zone is when you've met a customer, or your customer has met with your product. Doesn't have to be with you directly. They met with your product, and they've already been introduced to the product. They've already been through the cold zone. So now we're moving into the warm zone. And then finally, you want to move everybody. Eventually, you want to move to the hot zone. Now, people, sometimes a customer takes longer to get to the hot zone than the next customer. And also, um, the next person you meet might go right to the hot zone. They might love what you do and say, you know what, I get it. And that's the whole key. For people to get it, for people to get you. Because it takes a long time sometimes. For some people are slow, some people are not savvy, some people are in their own pace. That does not make them a bad person just because they don't get your product. But how many times have you seen a salesperson and you say no to them because something you're going through in life? You might be busy, you might be just not connected right now. You might have had a funeral yesterday, but you say no, and the salesman, whatever, and he keeps it moving. And that's just that you did the right thing, because that wasn't bound to be a valued relationship. I want valued relationships in my life. I want people that are interested in what Relentless has to say, what Relentless has to offer, and what Relentless has to share. You're moving a person that you met into the cold zone first. You want to get them into the warm zone. Eventually, you want them in the hot zone where they'll buy your product and they're forever your customer. Now, here's the state of mind behind that. If you look at everyone as a cold zone possibility, then there's no haste, there's no desperation behind your sales. You're behind you're meeting them, behind your agenda. You don't have any ulterior motive, because in your mind, you already know that, you know what, this is a valued person, a valued individual. Whether they become a client, customer, supporter is irrelevant. You've approached them or they approach you because there's a possibility of a connection there, and that's ultimately what you want to do with folks. You want to connect with them. This is for my sophomore sales executives out there. This is for my sophomore authors out there. Even if you're an experienced author and you need some marketing savvy, this video was meant for you. So, here in the promised land, and listening to the soft breeze. It's just amazing journey that I've taken, and I'm appreciating all the good and bad times that took me to get here. Fortunately, I'm alive to understand and recognize my greatness. I hope you guys are checking out my answer videos. There's going to be so many more answer videos. There's a strong message that I'm bringing to folk who may not be aware, may not be all that savvy as it relates to the psychosomatic balance of the body and how important water is to your daily agenda. How important breathing is to your daily agenda. That's where it all starts. Don't get it twisted. Air and water, primary to the body's functions. Get that right. Get your hygiene right. Get your daily agenda right, and some sort of exercise. Work on your talent, your connectivity with other folks, networking, become tech savvy, which I imagine some of you are because you're watching this video, right? And finally, keep a good heart about you, positive mental attitude, and you're going to go far. I have faith that you are going to go far. This is Relentless Aaron with you here from the Promised Land. Come back and see me sometime, and if I come to see you, leave the light on for me. You feel me?